I was just listening to the radio. I had to turn it off. They had an update about Mesilla. Well, let me give you a little bit of a backstory. Mesilla is a town not far outside of El Paso. It's less than an hour drive away from El Paso, Texas. As the immigration raids got increasingly more violent and the deportations became more widespread, the DHS, ICE, CBP massively ramped up their manpower, and before you really knew it, I mean, obviously the shock and awe. Anyways, there were very few places left that were actually safe harbors for undocumented immigrants. And what started as raids or voluntary sort of deportations eventually turned into more like expeditions to find them. But there was a town in New Mexico, Mesilla. A little bit over 2,000 people lived there, and there was a basilica there. The Basilica of San Albino. Anyways, the church had been harboring 35 undocumented immigrants. Several of them were families, and they had been protecting them within the walls of the basilica. And they had really gone under the radar, mainly because this was a rural town in Texas that really was off of the eyes of the government. Because it had been such a long time since the government implemented a large-scale deportation raid, they weren't really geared up like they had been in 2024 through 2027. This gave the town people of Mesilla the opportunity to protect them, and so they did. In fact, people from as far over as 4 counties away came, literally something like 5,000 people, and they built a human wall around the basilica. Some of them were old, some of them sat on the ground for days, and they turned it into sort of like a party atmosphere. It was a human shield to protect these 35 people, 5,000 people. And even he knew that it would not look good to attack those 5,000 people. And became kind of a spectacle. It was on the news, and for the resistance and, people who were fighting fascism, it felt like, yes, this is it. We can resist this. We can fight back. And there were some minor scuffles. There were some minor interactions between actually local police and some of the protesters. But they couldn't act. They couldn't take action. And they left them alone. They left the scene. The federal officials left the scene. And it was celebrated for, an act of resistance. Our neighbors can still be good people because these were their neighbors, these 35 people. They worked in the store. They worked all over the town. So it was this moment of jubilation and celebration. And damn, it felt really good. Anyway, last night they leveled the place. They really weren't kidding when they said that churches were not safe anymore. And when half the country was more willing to put their authoritarian president over their own religion, it was shocking to see how little reaction to this there has been. But we will always remember how the town of Mesilla fought back.